Yo, this your boy, Top Shelf News, and tonight we talking about 1090 Jake and Larry Hoover situation. So 1090 Jake basically did a video about Larry Hoover after it came out that Donald Trump had pardoned Larry Hoover. So now he came out with a video that's saying basically he's a snitch and he had snitched anyway, so whatever point he was trying to prove. Like, I don't know. Like, but the thing is, he did a video trying to paint Larry Hoover as a snitch. So let's get into that at this point.
This video, I want to talk to you guys about 1090 stakes again because I've got more to cover. The last video I made about 1090 stakes was about him trying to expose Larry Hoover as a snitch and how he was facing widespread backlash for this accusation because it was not true. And I talked about how 1090 was a rat his damn self and how he's a goof and an imposter and a fraud and a snitch. So that was the last video, but I've got more to cover. I'm not done. I'm not satisfied. And so I do want to start with the first clip. Now, this first clip is going to be the guy that Larry Hoover is being accused by Jake of snitching on him. And what you're going to see is this guy's going to come out and say Larry Hoover never snitched on him, never took the stand on him, never wrote a statement on him, that it's all a bunch of bullshit. Listen to this.
Last year, they tried to say that Larry Hoover told on me, that he told the police that I shot him. I had to come on Facebook and made it perfectly clear. That man ain't never told on me. But damn, they did the same thing to David Barstow. They put it on that David Barstow told on some Blackstone Rangers in 1965 and 66.
So 1090 Jake bases his entire accusation on this old school newspaper article from racist Chicago back in the 60s where they were rioting over the civil rights. It was completely corrupt. And so this is what Jake's entire basis of his whole thing is this newspaper article. But we've got the guy that apparently got snitched on. He should be pretty upset, right? Wrong. He's not upset at all because it never happened. He was never snitched on. And so this clip is making its rounds around the internet. All the blogs are picking it up. It's going viral. And it's not going good for 1090 Jake. You know, he went through the same thing when he tried to expose BG for being a snitch. And he wasn't. But that was different because there was actual paperwork and documents and narratives and
So what we got here is 1090 Jake trying to paint Larry Hoover as a snitch, just like he tried to do with BG when BG first got out. Go back and look at the old 1090 Jake video. So he trying to paint Larry Hoover as the same thing. But what I'm going to bring to y'all attention tonight is he only doing that to get the views. Like, he knows that's what people want to hear about, the controversy and, oh, he's a snitch and he's a snitch and this, that, to the third. So I think it's a good power move. Like, if you playing chess instead of checkers, you know, you want to, bring content to the people that's gonna get you the most views. You don't just want to bring them content that's not gonna help you make the most money and help you maximize and optimize your profits on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? So I think that was a real power move on his behalf with that. So now we're gonna get into how he used the Bloods as a come up, but then when he came up, he's now saying that, yeah, like, I don't really, I'm denouncing the gang now. I'm not with the Bloods anymore. And I make more money than them. So why would I be paying my big homie a fee to be with the Bloods when, like, I'm making more money than the big homie? Ain't gonna lie, which is a good point. But how you gonna just switch sides now when you use them at first to come up and get the bag, to make it look like you were street, to get, the street people's credibility in order to blow your YouTube page up? Yeah, let's talk about it. We're talking about it tonight. We're breaking it down. We trying to see what's really going on with 1090 Jake and Larry Hoover.
and people are not happy. The GDs are not happy. And it's just so concerning if you think about it. And the more you do think about it, you realize how problematic this is, considering Jake is a snitch his damn self. You see, there was inmates and COs inside that prison with Jake that were making his life a living hell. And so what he did is he snitched on them by way of writing a statement up with their names and submitting it to administration in the prison. This is actually full-blown snitchery. And so for this next clip that I want to show you, this is 1090 Jake's big homie. What? Everybody that hit me got hit. I got hit.
So you see what he's saying. 1090 Jake actually snitched himself. Like, you know, he just did it inside the jail and, you know, without doing it on the streets and the big homies knowing about it, but he kind of actually snitched. Especially when you in the gang world, you 1090 Jake. You know, you're a part of some blood gang. So that's still snitching. I don't care how you snitch. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's white collar or regular snitching, it's snitching. And when you're in a gang, that's where the whole weight is. The normal civilian world don't care about snitching. If you come rob their house or you snatch my purse or my wallet, I'm gonna call the police and tell them you did it. Like, you know, as a civilian, people don't care about that. If you're a civilian, only the people that's in the gang world care, and in the hoods and all that. Suburban people and high class people, yeah, they're gonna call the police on you. They're not gonna, they don't care nothing about being called a snitch. Like, yeah, that's how that really goes. So let's get into that. And we're gonna get into what his actual big homie right there said. The big homie's right there, who he's under, the 1090. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into that. And then how he used the blood to come up. Woo, yeah, woo. He in the store, and he got the blood, the real blood behind him, and he whooped like, but then he's gonna flip and act like he was never a part of the movement because he met some young lady that now he's trying to paint his image otherwise because that's what she wants. She wants him to be rubbing the shoulders with the elites, not the hood rat gang members, you know, quote unquote. So let's get into it.
I couldn't run. I couldn't do nothing. My toes was pussing. I couldn't do nothing. All I could do was look around. Nobody could see me. So I started to run. No, he couldn't run because his fucking toes. What? So yeah, he was telling all these stories. But anyways, back to the story here. This is 1090 Jake's big homie from the GKB Killer Bloods in Florida. And he's going to be basically coming out and saying that Jake did actually snitch, but he doesn't want to call him a snitch because that's his, his little bitch or whatever. But he does say that Jake committed violations here. Look at this.
Called 1090 Jake a rat. And no, I'm not worried about if a nigga feel away with what I'm saying. That nigga. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, when he said I was assaulted by and put that man's name in there, he fucked up. It was an error. He wasn't supposed to do that.
So Jake's big homie just said, fuck him. What? So this isn't very good. So Jake is actually facing backlash for being a rat from his own people. And this is not good. This is probably contributing to the reason why he probably dropped out of his gang. But the number one reason why he dropped out, as we all know, is because he wants to be a country boy. What? He's got this new girlfriend that he's going to propose to very soon. And he wants to fit the mold of what he believes she wants in a man, which is a clean-cut, God-fearing countryman. What? So Jake he's big country now, and so he's trying to make this career pivot where because he no longer needs these guys, these older bloods in Florida, to sort of use their image to advance his career.
1090 Jake.
In the motherfucking building.
3-hour interview, 100,000 on the chain.
Big 1090, shout out to Mazza.
Big Bloods in the building.
GKB in the fucking building. Whoa. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh my God. Appreciate you, man.
by using them for validation type thing. It's very easy to understand. So he doesn't need that anymore. And he does a great job of explaining why he doesn't need them anymore in this next clip. This is Bootleg Kev podcast, and this is 1090 Jake explaining why he left his gang.
Like a lot of the people that started Blood back in the 90s on the East Coast of New York are all broke and fucked up. A lot of the big homies are broke and fucked up. So if you're 40, 50 years old and your life sucks, why do I, as a 30-year-old who's making more money than almost the majority of the entire fucking gang, the fuck am I doing over here? It doesn't make any sense.
What the fuck did he just? What? So he says that they're all broke. He doesn't want to hang out with a bunch of broke old bums. He's like, why would I want to hang around some people that I already use for their image, and I already advanced my career? I make more money than the majority. This is insane. Really. I literally can't believe he said this publicly. I mean,
yeah, man. Did y'all just actually hear that? Did y'all just actually hear what he said? Yeah, man. Did y'all just see the video? What I just played? He actually was using them for the come up to get the street cred, so the street people tune in to him. But now that he done make the new girl and he trying to change his image, and he tired of the big homie Blood draining his wallet. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what really been going on. They've been draining his wallet. So yeah, now that he tired of that, and he actually, he get 200,000-300,000 views per video. Yeah, he don't need them no more. And that's what's really going on with 1090 Jake.
Let's get 100 times worse in this next clip. He's going to explain that he wants to drop his flag and stop banging Blood because he wants to be friends with Mark Wahlberg. What? This is insane.
The guys at the sandwich shop?
Yeah, they linked up with Mark Wahlberg, and
they're funny.
I had asked one of them, like, yo, tap me in with Mark. I asked him, and I could tell he was kind of cautious. And I looked at my Instagram, and it's like it's banged out. It's me with 30, 40 people with red flags, this and that. It's like I make him look bad, even presenting that.
So Jake is now trying to pivot and use the fame that he accumulated by being a fake Blood to hang out with movie stars and fucking do all kind of, this is really inappropriate.
I already solidified who I am with what I've done and everything else, like the N-word and everything else. All it does is hold you back.
And so I'm seeing this and my jaw's just hanging open. I'm like, what is he doing? My mind is just swimming with information. And I quickly realized that it's his girlfriend. What? He wants to use his fame. He's trying to pivot his fame into getting a way to hang out with the people that his girlfriend likes. His girlfriend, who is from Tampa, by the way, doesn't give a fuck about hanging out with a bunch of over-the-hill gang members. She wants to hang out with A-list celebrities, and that's what Jake's trying to provide for her. And so he's a country boy now. He's, that shit. So, so 1090 Jake is a country boy. He loves bonfires. He's acting funny as fuck, as you'll see in this clip.
Y'all doing a prison pose in front of the fire, though. Dog life. Where you going?
Wow. So Jake's really out of character there, isn't he? He's had a couple of keystones. What? He's out of character. He's not. Usually when I hear Jake, I'm thinking like, see, what you got to realize is that I was the only white blood in that whole yard. Everybody was trying to give me a TOH because I was the most respected one. I was the only white blood in there. But now he's talking about everybody that fucked my girl. I'm jealous of. He's got extreme retrograde jealousy, and I think it's so funny. And they argue about this extensively. They argue about the guys that, what's her name, Haley, his girlfriend, used to have vaginal sex with before Jake came along. Look at this.
If her past don't count, then why does mine make me a felon? These ladies be out here with more bodies than old block, but my past is the only one that counts. Make that make sense in the comments.
Jake's really going through it right now, thinking about all the bodies that his girlfriend has. What? I mean, this is so funny. So, and another thing I want Jake to understand is not only did his girlfriend sleep with people before he came along, but she thoroughly enjoyed it and it gratified her sexually. What? And not only that, her ex-boyfriend that she had before Jake, she's actually still in love with him and she wants to have sex with him right now. What? So I just want Jake to understand these things are actual facts.
So that's what it was with the 1090 Jake situation. You came out. You said what you said when you came up. When you came up with the blood, the woo, up 200,000-300,000 views. That is a video. Now, yeah, if I gotta do that, I'm making more money than most of the big homies. So, and then you only said that. Listen, pay attention. You only said that after the big homie came out and said, "Oh yeah, 1090J, you did some flaw stuff. I ain't saying you a snitch, but when you said what you said about the correctional officers in jail, like, yeah, you kind of did the wrong thing." And now you was in your feelings, and then you came out and denounced the game. Yeah, I make more money than them, so why would I still be? It don't even make sense anymore. And once you get 200,000-300,000 views per video, yeah, it don't even make, because they was milking you. It was some big Nipsey Hussle, West Coast, Shaq, and Gunna, and everybody who was coming to the West Coast that Big U was extorting money from. It was that type of situation. And once Big Homie denounced you, because most likely either you stopped paying or you wasn't paying in the first place, and once he realized you was, repping the gang and you weren't even paying your tithes, he came out and said what he said. Like, come on, I'm a street dude. Like, I know what's going on for real. I'm not in the gang. I don't even have any tattoos or anything. Like, I don't have tattoos or anything. But I know how it go. I got plenty of partners who are gang members and in the gang. So, yeah. Once, it was either that. Like, either you stopped or you wasn't in the first place. So he came out and said what he said. That's just the size of it. And you got in your feelings. And then you denounce the game. But you kind of can't, you straddling the fence is what they call it, in my circles and in my generation, straddling the fence. Like, you playing both sides. You want to be the gang member, and then when you came up, now you don't want to be the gang member no more because you got a girlfriend and you're mad because the big homie said what he said about you, and now you just want to, now you just Big Jake. You don't even want the 1090 no more. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, and I said all that to say, ain't nobody really believing that Larry Hoover a snitch. Like, you got some old clippings. Like, yeah, woo. You got some old clippings. Don't nobody really care. And especially if you're not a gang member. Right. So if you're not a gang member, you're only making that video for the gang members. You want the people who care about what the gang members feel to say that. You already admitted you don't even care for real. Like, so you're only making this to make money, basically. You got to make it make sense. But the point of my video and what I tried to break down tonight is I'm making it make sense for a lot of people. He don't really care. He's just making money. It's fine. He done denounced the gang. He's not a gang member no more. He don't even care. He just knows it's people who live in the hoods that are gang members and are related to gang members that actually care, that's gonna view his page, because he already done sealed the deal with a lot of people from, the old videos of him being in a gang and woo, like, he already got y'all reeled in. So he don't really care no more. He's still gonna make 200,000-300,000 views a video. It's so crazy because the views might go up now. The views might go up now. He already solidified. He don't care. But the point is, I'm trying to break down the situation tonight and let y'all know what's really going on and what's really the top shelf news about this situation. And that's basically 1090 Jake really don't care. He denounced the gang. He's not a gang member no more. So he's a civilian So he's moving on civilian terms. And he got a civilian girlfriend that don't even want him to be in the game. He probably still trying to play tough and do all this in front of her because he knows that's what's gonna turn her on at the end of the day. Oh yeah, I got me a white boy. He a gang member. Like, yeah, like that's what's gonna turn her up at the end of the day. But he ain't really in it no more. And I just showed you the reasons why. So I'm just trying to give you the top shelf news, is all I'm saying, to give y'all some clarity about what's really going on. Top shelf news, man. And we out. I got another video coming up shortly. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's go.